like with a nuclear deal. Like, oh, okay, I'll tune into that. He's good.
Yeah, right. When I see Nuke on Rule Zero, I'm stoked for him because I know.
No, I got you.
You want on a technicality, yeah, it's true.
So go fuck yourself.
I'm not here to convince you of anything, Angela, and there are content all the time. So I like fire testing all the content on the ground. You know,
I believe that the right guy will come at the right time.
And stay off the dating apps. Not good.
I hate dating apps.
That's where you find guys like me. That's not okay. Hey, what's up, guys? Another edition of the Nuke Stream. Today, I am joined by my little friend Tadashi. Say hi, buddy. Hi. He wants to be on camera. He doesn't even know what's going on, but yeah. Today, we're going to talk about how to become a black pill doomer, how to give up, how to make everything, how to make your happiness everyone else's problem, and also how to not make peace with the fact that you don't control the universe. We're going to talk about several steps you need to take to become black pill. This is in response to uh, Homat's post about giving up. I know everyone's has their own theories, perspective, and all that. Everywhere from like he did it on purpose for marketing for reasons, or this guy, you know, someone should be checking up on him because he's pretty much done. He's checking out, right? Everyone has their theory, right? But ultimately, how does this affect us as men? How does someone get there? That way, we'll do, you know, we'll go through these reasons or steps. Um, I don't know the person. I don't know what personally, like a lot of times we don't know what people go through, the suffering that they go through. I certainly don't like, I certainly don't like pretending that I don't like hope is something that's easy, comes easy to me, right? We've all had our ups and downs and all that stuff, but you know, sometimes we tie reasons we're down or reasons we're depressed or reasons we're hopeless with other issues outside of us. And it kind of feeds your hopelessness even more because if the world doesn't meet a certain condition for you, then you will never be happy. And you know, we're going to talk about that and all that. And this isn't a how to, you know, how to be happy like Tadashi wants to he wants to he wants to speak into the mic. This isn't this isn't a hey, how to be happy 24/7, right? This is just how to deal with life. The life, the ups and downs. Everyone has a brand in the manosphere where they tell you, "Hey, live like me, be like me," or "I did this and it worked," whatever. But if you're going to do that, at least have your brand reflect or you reflect your brand. You know, like, hey, if you have charts and graphs and things that map out human behavior, consciousness, or whatever, right? And you can't even use them for your own benefit, right? And your only excuse is like, oh, smart people don't have to. Um, smart people don't have to, or smart people have trouble being happy. I'm like, no, that's a myth. You know, that's people. It's people that don't act. Those are and smart people tend to overanalyze, but there's plenty of smart people that over that act and take action, right? And what do you think a lot of the cool stuff we have in this country is, right? It's because there's smart men that just focus on doing stuff, not thinking, right? Thinkers are miserable, but people that do and just put one foot in front of them and don't think about like what's going to happen in 5 years. They just like, hey, what's going to happen tomorrow or what's going to happen this afternoon. They, you know, hey, I got a business to run. I got family to take care of. Like, cool. Country's going to shit. I still have work in the morning. I got things to do. So in terms of intelligence, what is intelligence even good for? It's nothing without action, right? Hold on. Let me turn off this light behind me. Hold Okay. So, um, what is even the reason of being? What's the purpose of being smart, right? If you can't use it to solve your problems and at least have some sort of confidence in yourself that everything's going to be okay, then you're not smart. Then the people who, so what about the people that are building businesses and starting businesses today or recently? Are those people giving up too? What about people that are 42, divorced, lose everything? Are those people, do they have a shot of having a better life? Right? So it's like, hey, what are we doing here? What is this becoming? Right? Why is it that brands do this? They self implode. The masculinity brands, all these brands, they just end up being going to going to shit. Um, they make these easy mistakes. Um, we'll talk about that too. But sorry about the subathon today, guys. It just I couldn't get I had trouble getting things working, and then out of nowhere my laptop crashed, and that's crazy because my laptop is a high performing laptop. It's an Acer Nitro. It only goes only all the fans only come on when I'm either doing some editing in Canva or playing a video game, and I barely play video games on my laptop anyway. So, but yeah, it just crashed out of nowhere. My whole computer crashed and restarted, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Um, I was very I was very shocked by that. But yeah, maybe next some other time or anything. So maybe we could do a marathon stream or something. But yeah, guys, this subathon was not meant to be or anything like that. So yeah, but here's the thing: the people. There's a lot of people that are going to tell you what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to think, um, how to, and they're going to all paint it with the same thing, and it's just morality, right? What a man should do, how he should think. And the thing is, what happens with guys is that they're looking for answers to everything, like just beginning to end. They come to the internet, everything from how to be a man to how to get laid. They all think it's a one-stop shop, right? They're like, I need a guru or I need a guy to tell me how to do step by step how to do everything, right? Um, and the thing here is, right, if you're looking to one man for literally every answer, or you think you are, then you're in hot water, right? Um, Men shouldn't be learning from one man on how to date, right? You should be trading notes with your friends. Your dad should give you some pointers. Some people on the internet should give you some pointers. Your friends, brother, whoever, your uncle. It should be a crowdsourced effort. And that was always the red pill, right? It shouldn't be one guy with some drawings mapping out the world and mapping out human behavior. So that's how you become a doomer, step one, is that looking for an internet daddy. You're going to look for answers from somebody, and then it's more about your need. This guy, what's up, buddy? You gotta behave on stream. Um, you have to look at it as not a looking for a guide or a teacher, right? You're just looking for information. We don't know you, and you don't know us. You have different wants and likes and goals, different cultural pressures and background, different life story, different everything, right? We're just dudes. We both share the same thing, is that we want to get laid with some kind of regularity at some point. So we take the red pill and turn it into not an ideology, not some kind of guide to life. It's just essentially tools to get men to go where they want and do what they want. And that's always going to be the first step, is to ask dudes, hey, what do you want? And that's a scary question because they've never thought about it. They literally never thought, hey, what do you want? Well, I want a wife and kid. No, no, outside of other people, if you could have the life you wanted, what does it look like? More or less within reason, you can't be an astronaut probably, or but within reason. Where would you like to live? What type of money would you like to make? What type of food would you like to eat? Where do you want your parents close by? Like, what do you want? And then that's step one. But if you want to become a black pill doomer, never ask yourself that question. Continue to think that your role was chosen, that you have to sacrifice for others, and you may not even know that you are. But every time you placate everyone around you, every time you see better opportunities for women, sex, jobs, and all that stuff, and you don't take them because you don't want to let people down. You know, there's always loyalty is important. But here's the thing: if you don't know if you stop asking what you want, you're gonna become a black pill doomer. Like that's step one: forgetting what you want, um, and all that. So number two, how to become a black pill doomer is essentially you. How do I say this correctly? You want to change the world, and you look outward instead of inward. You forget that it's not the world that has to change, but you. If you make content, if you make uh, observations, if you make commentary on the intersectional dynamics, politics, whatever, at a large scale, you're going to lose credibility if your life isn't shit, right? If you make dating content and you're still mad at women, right? You lose credibility. And that's just the way it is. And not like it's okay to complain about women. It's cathartic. Like they complain about us. It's normal. I think it's healthy, right? To bitch about women a little bit, right? Just like, dads get together, oh, the wife did this, whatever. That's cathartic. That's normal. However, the point is there's an end goal here. It's not just stay in this loop of, you know, hoes and the goddamn Democrats, like Cappy says. It's it's simply, hey, to the logical conclusion is getting over it, finding the mental models to deal with it, and to get the tools that you need to keep going, you know, and move on with your life. That's all it is. It's nothing more than that. It's positive male identity. But, somehow there's the life cycle always happens. Every election cycle or every couple years, somebody does something and then wants to recruit people or change people, or hey, look at it my way, because you know hundreds of years, decades, or whatever, no one has come up with something. I'm special. I'm the one that figured this all out, not you guys. So it's like when you guys plant their flag, and and they don't have um out of nowhere, and they come with a what do you call it, they come with a mentality of, I figured out here, I'm going to tell you guys what to do, instead of, hey guys, I figured something out. What do you guys think? Like, this worked for me. Use it. If not, whatever. It's all crowdsourcing, right? It's not None of this is like one guy figured it out, and if all of us disappeared today, the red pill will continue, right? Because it's not one person or like several people. It's all of us. If you've gone on one date, you have something to contribute. You could talk to another guy and be like, "Hey, I did this and I got ghosted," or "Hey, I did this and she was all over it," right? Um, so yeah, it's you don't need an internet daddy, and you can't change the world. And why do guys feel like they could change the world? Well, um, same thing, same reason primates, instead of, when there's a guy that they perceive getting all the women, they team up and they try to kill the alpha. That's the animal kingdom, right? So I guess maybe it's that. Maybe it's being raised as a woman, defective women, where men just want a plan. We want a plan. Like um we want what do you call it? Step by step. We don't want our feelings to be hurt, right? And I guys think they do. I Throughout the years, guys with breakups. Hold up. Come on, puppy. Guys with breakups, right? I've had friends that have breakups, and they're just like, "Oh, I just need to talk, and I need to get this off my chest." And they, maybe day one, but like after that, um, they think they want like just someone to listen to them. Like, no, you as a man, you don't want people to listen to your problems. You want a plan. You want a step one, step two, step three, right? You don't want people to feel sorry for you. It's embarrassing. You want a plan. You want a way out. You want to start plotting the strategy to get out of your situation, whether it be heartbreak, being broke, jobless, whatever. And the faster we stop this emotional language about, hey, it's all over for me and I don't know what to do. I won't have a family and all this stuff that a lot of men are also feeling. The faster you can start using your damn skull, your brain, and start thinking, hey, if other men have done it, I can too. So what are the steps? Right? And you start thinking incredibly logically. I tell guys, hey, make your girl problems and take emotion and ego out of them and watch your problems slowly start like solutions or at least a path start opening, because the third way to become a doomer is to not have a plan, right? To just completely forget that you need an action plan, you need a strategy, right? Guys with no strategy about anything, they tend to just float around, get ping ponged by life, and they never like seem to get anywhere. And then they complain about everything. It's just like, no, you have a strategy, right? Like, hey, I'm gonna work this job for 3 years. If I don't get a raise or something happens, then I move out to this job, and by then I would have qualified this, and I'll be trained in this. So that like in your mind, like even though you have a plan, like, hey, if this backfires, then I have this, and then while I'm doing this, I'll get qualified or go to school part time, and then boom, and then there's a plan. Why can't you apply it to women? It's the same thing. And in order to do this though with women is that you have to take your ego out of it, right? Some guys, uh, some guys have uh, reasons why they have trouble dating, and I promise you, 80% of the time is ego. They're afraid to get rejected. They think that women suck, but they just don't like. Okay, women suck, but like, what are you gonna do? You have to at some point get a girl, right? So if we use logic in um our coming up with the strategy, then doors start to open, right? So let's say you are approaching 40 and you do have some health problems and you do have a channel that's very lucrative and you are very intelligent, right? So you have a lot of these things going for you, things that you worked for and also things that you got lucky for. Okay, so how do I use these things that are in my favor to win, right? Here's what I did, right? I networked first off. Um, whenever I get lonely, I realize, hey, I start learning about myself, right? Because when you have no ego, you understand and you look inward more than you look outward. You're like, man, what is wrong with me? And I realize, oh, I haven't gone out with my friends for a while. So I go out with my friends. Hey, I'm kind of down, whatever. Oh, I haven't been outside for a long time. Let me do it. And the thing is, when people have big egos or high intelligence, they scoff at these small little solutions or small little things because they're just like simplicity. There's no way it can be that simple. It has to be complicated. The reason I'm unhappy today, I'm a complex creature, right? Like, there is no way that simply doing this is the key. I'm better than that. Like that wouldn't work on me, right? I'm special. And that's part number 4, thinking you're special. Thinking that your problems somehow are different, are more important, are more unique and complex and unsolvable than the next guy's, right? Everyone thinks they're special. It's like, hey, dude, you ain't shit, and that's okay. And a lot of guys hate that because their whole lives they were just like, no, I gotta stand out and I gotta think differently. Millennials, you know how the way we are. I gotta think differently, and I'm special, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, dude, um, the purpose of you ain't shit and that's okay is not to denigrate your self worth, right? It's essentially realizing that for people that don't know you, for people that you have no leverage over them, that have different lifestyles, wants, and desires, right? You don't matter to them. That's all it's saying. So when a girl you just met doesn't want to see you, why are you mad at someone that doesn't matter to you and you don't matter to them? It like doesn't, leaves your life or doesn't participate in something you want to participate in. They don't know you, right? And yeah, there's different levels of this. There's women that I've shared a connection with and they walked out the next day like nothing happened, right? So, and I had to get over my ego and I had to say like, hey, there's nothing I can do here. No amount of explaining or no amount of negotiation is going to work, right? So I ain't shit, right? Like I'm not that special, right? And it helps. It really does. There are days where I really feel like, hey, really no one cares. Like I really am by myself. But then I realize like, wait, everyone probably thinks that. So I ain't special. We all get a little lonely sometimes, right? The fact that you are at an age where you're approaching 30, 40 or 40 and you have health problems and all that stuff. It's like, hey, dude, like welcome to the club. We all have something. And we can't all be complaining constantly about our own situation, thinking we're special because we're not. And that's what makes the red pill so awesome is that men find out that their problems are not special. I just say, hey, I have this problem. I hope someone else has this problem, right? It's like when you go to a forum to fix your computer, your car, or whatever software. You hope that someone has your problem. Same thing with the red pill. You hope that someone has your problem. And you know, that's the problem, so to speak. That with everything, when guys look for answers, everything else, whether it be cooking, whether it be troubleshooting a computer, trying to fix their car, they go online and they hope that someone has their exact problem. That way they can take pointers and things like that. But because of their ego and their self-worth issues, they think that, hey, there's no way that someone has my problem with dating. Like I'm just this and I have this going against me. I'm special. My issues are special. I'm a special snowflake. And I'm just like, no, dude, you're not. You're not special. Someone has your problem. And not only that, many people have your problem. So, yeah. Yeah. Ah. There's more ways you could become black pill, but the truth is, man, like you have to get over yourself. You have to get over your ego. You have to get over your entitlement and all that stuff. People people think that people think that, hey, if I do A, B will happen guaranteed. And when it doesn't happen guaranteed or as easy or they got to do a little bit more, they crumble, right? It's done. Oh, I can't do this anymore. This is stupid. Or hey, it's all over. I'm like, dude, um, first off, you're qualifying to women. Everything you do is for women, right? Like, oh, I'm in the gym for women. I'm working hard for women. I'm like, that's not the point. First off, you missed the point. You're still in women's frame. Everything is outside of you. You haven't realized, like, hey, this paycheck is for me. It's not for women. If a woman wants to enjoy this paycheck, she better earn it, right? If a woman wants to, if a woman wants my time, she better earn it, and all that. So, yeah. Another way to become black pill doomer is to let the internet decide for you how to feel about women, right? If you don't go out, if you don't have relationships with women, both professional and romantic or friendly, then already where are you going to get your idea of what women are? The internet, right? Not only that, the internet's going to feed you emotions. They're going to know exactly how to get you to click because there are professionals smarter than all of us that know how to get you to click on something, right? You are, again, remember, you are the most vulnerable demographic. Young men, we are the most vulnerable demographic on earth, because everything we are the most productive, and yet we're the ones that they know our weaknesses. They know that most men have trouble getting laid, and they're you know they're using that against us. The marketing is just basically marketing for everything and anything is naked women or half naked women, whether it be an event, an anime event I want to go to, a coffee shop, a book, a movie, a game. Everything is marketed by tits, right? And the reason it works is because most men, that's all they have. Everything has to be half naked women. I mean, look at the Sydney Sweeney bar of soap. It's crazy, you know. It's right. It's I know maybe it's a joke and all that stuff, but the truth is, like, half those comments, most of them are jokes, but some of them might be real. We don't know. They're hidden among the jokes. So yeah. So it's a sad place we're in where we have to see these brands, all of them start embarrassing themselves, and then now as time goes on, obviously there's gonna be like just like when Kevin Samuels died, there's gonna be people dancing in his grave. There's people dancing on Hope Matt's brand grave, and um, and all that, and I don't like that either. I don't like when because I know I've lived around men that have lost hope. I lived around men that the light in their eyes is gone and they're just dead on the inside, right? And again, one of the things I learned about men that like that is that it's more than the grind of life. It's the grind of life plus something. Um, I don't like to bully men like that. However, this is really important. And there's only the first step to curing yourself from this affliction that the world always has to be a certain way in order for you to be happy, and everything is external to you. Um, is this is you need to be radically accepting of everything around you, things that you cannot change. And it's easy because it's literally the easiest flow chart in history. It's just, can I change this? Yes. Do I want to? Yes. Change it. Do I want to? No. Don't do anything. Can I change it? Don't do anything. Really. That's it. Right? His hair is, I really need to look at that. His freaking hair is everywhere. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. Oh, all right. I'm covered in hair right now. But um as time goes on, radical acceptance becomes easier. But something has to happen with radical acceptance, right? It comes with age. A lot of guys, you're not like, I doubt that you're gonna be 21 and be like, yep, it is what it is. No. It's gonna usually hits your mid 30s. I think for me, it hit my like early to mid 30s where I was just like, hey, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do, right? And that's defeat. People think, hey, defeat. It's over. Like you gave up. I'm like, no, that's when life begins, really. Your life begins when you radically accept the things you can't change. Um, it's very freeing. It's also very it's mercy for people outside of you because at some point you're gonna have some power or sway, or people are gonna look up to you and respect your opinion, right? At some point, right? And when this happens, um, what are you gonna tell them? You're gonna tell them, hey, sacrifice your life for a problem that can't be solved that you didn't cause. And that's the thing here. That's the whole, hey, that's where they disagree with us because all these people that want to change the world, that's what they say. They're like, hey, you guys are selfish. You guys just want to see the country fail. You guys just want you guys just want to let everything go to shit. I'm like, no. Well, and then my reply is always, what's your plan? Really, what's your plan? Right? Because I love to hear it. I love to hear what you're gonna do besides get rid of what is it? The repeal the 13th, whatever the female voting amendment. Repeal the 19th. Or repeal it. How? Well, we have to. Uh, well, we're going to repeal the 19th. I'm like, okay, that's not a plan. That's a fantasy. How are you going to do it? Step one, step two, and nothing, right? And I'm like, you guys see this? There is no plan. There is no way to get you to. There is no logical way to get these fantasies done. Like to get these things to happen. None. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. All there is guys circle jerking and talking about masculinity and what's right and what's wrong and morality, and then offloading all that responsibility to everyone else and saying, "Hey, I'm a good person. Why can't you guys be like me?" And here's the thing: the country's still running, despite everyone not thinking like you. People are still having babies. People are still traveling. People are still living and dying and all that stuff. Yes, there's big changes. And the thing is, even if it may be we may be in a societal decline. I don't know, but I will say that we're still in the safest period in history. We have nothing to worry about, really, right? We have taxis for McDonald's now, so things could be worse. I don't want to be those guys that are like, hey, you should be appreciative because things could be worse. I want to be that guy, but this is in reference to, hey, if things are so easy, something has got to change. Something is gonna like technology has to affect everything. It can't affect only the things that you find convenient, right? It must mean that there's things too that other groups of people and genders are going to use for their own benefit, just like you're using things for your own benefit, right? So, um, if you're able to order plane tickets within seconds, then maybe women are able to order a man within seconds too. And the fact that men are enjoying, all of us are enjoying these awesome technological advancements in the internet and all that stuff, but yet complain about also the fact that people are using the internet for their own gain is pretty childish to me, right? Like, hey, I don't like the fact that some women that I really enjoyed walked away from me and didn't want to be with me, despite, you know, being fun and us dating and having lots of chemistry, right? I don't like that, but I have to accept it. It's radical acceptance. It is not up to me. I am not in charge of them. And why would you want to be? It's exhausting, right? Most guys, even with just controlling one woman, their wife, they're burnt out by in a week, right? Someone that can't make a single decision by themselves, no, you'll burn out. So, yeah. The truth is here, guys, that there's no such thing as a black pill. There is no uh pill besides the red pill. There is no white pill, there is no black pill, there's no there's only the blue pill and the red pill. That's it. And once you take the red pill, you don't go back. There is no unseeing anything. And I say the black pill because it seems to people want to define everything and put people into groups. And it's essentially black pill is only one thing. People who cannot accept reality, people who do not have radical acceptance, who choose to make everything an external locus of control. Like everything is outside of me. I can't figure it out, therefore system's fucked. It's an ego thing. I can't figure, and it doesn't have to be with being late only. Like home math is an example. Like I can't figure it out, so society's fucked. I'm like, okay, well, dude, we did. So what's between the difference between you and me? We live in the same country, but we have the same benefits. What is the difference? Like what did you do? Oh, I have health issues. I'm like, okay, cool, dude, but you have other benefits. Like for every negative thing that I have, you probably have something. And for every negative thing that you have, you probably have something that also makes up for it in a great way. And this is what I'm saying. A lot of guys, especially the guys that like have given up or whatever, and one of the first things you check for these guys is just look at their strengths, and a lot of the times they don't even know. I have a follower. He expresses he does not like women, like, but from a kind of like a hateful place. I'm like, okay, that's not healthy, but explain yourself. Well, like this, like that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, dude, what are your hobbies? Oh, I love playing guitar. And then he shows me a picture of him playing guitar in public. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, if you lost the weight, played guitar, and started playing gigs, your pussy problem solved. Right? Done. You'd get laid at least once in a while, and you'd network, and you're doing what you love, right? Uh, you can't, you can't, you can't go through life just assuming that God has chosen you to never be happy and that you're done. There's more. There's more to There's more to this than like, hey, I have one bad thing happening to me. I should give in and tell. Like, what kind of like really? Then you were never meant to make it in the first place. Um, so when guys are thinking, why am I having trouble getting laid? I have this disadvantage, whether it be my height, my money, some guys have too much money, some guys have too little. I'm like, okay, well, you have an advantage, right? So let's talk about it. It's okay, guys with a lot of money. Hey, girls only want me for my money. They expect expensive dinner. Okay, cool. Let's come up with a strategy. What's the strategy? Okay, instead of taking her out to concerts, instead of taking her out to expensive places and what do you call it? Whatever dinner stuff like that. How about this? Take her out to a bar in the expensive side of town. It still shows high effort. It still correlates with the fact that you have money, and it's still low investment on overall. But to her, it's high investment. So you didn't have to take her to a concert. You didn't have to take her to expensive dinner, but you did take her to a classy cocktail lounge where the drinks were just like $2 more than across town in the middle class part of town, right? And there you go, strategy. Boom. You're using your money in a smart way. Like, hey, you flash a little bit, let her know, hey, like I'm a fun and exciting guy, but you ain't getting this just for existing. Right? We're gonna have a good time first. We're gonna get drinks. We're gonna get drunk. We're gonna have sex. We're gonna enjoy ourselves. Then, I'll start loosening up the purse strings, right? But for guys with money, there you go. And with guys with no money, there's a strategy too. Hey, what are the cheapest dates? It's a wine date, man. Wine date, a bottle of wine is 30 bucks. You know what? I saw like two young 22-year-olds outside of my local wine bar down the street. And maybe he watched my stuff one day, or someone told him, "Hey, like, take this girl to a wine bar," right? And maybe it worked. It didn't cost him anything, right? Cool. We figured it out, guys. And it may not be a guarantee, right? But it's better than nothing. It's a plan. It's better than nothing. It's something to go off of, right? It's something to work with. And you just keep asking, and really it really comes down to that. What are your advantages that you don't even know you have? Oh, I love playing music. Okay. Have you shown the world your gift or your talent? No, no, I just played alone in my cold apartment by myself. Well, no, dude. Take some pictures of you playing or doing cool stuff. If you have to hire a photographer, do it. If you have to tell a friend, do it. Hey, you want to get better? Take classes, right? There is strategy for everything. Do I understand some of the complaints that they have? Yes, there's a lot of noise. A lot of like just like the fitness community, dating stuff is very there's a lot of opinions. There's people that say game isn't real. That's all Instagram and status. There's people that say that status is gay, and it's just all like talk to women. Stop relying on your Instagram. There's guys that say that dating apps are stupid, and there's guys that say the dating apps aren't stupid. There's the best way. There's gonna be conflicting, just like in the fitness industry, there's people that say that bench pressing is dumb, and then people that say deadlifting is a waste of your time. There's always going to be an eternal argument or fight over these things because it's everyone's ego invested into their own method. But I'll say this first off: if it was working for you, then don't stop. That's first off, because the purpose is here to win. If it's working, but you don't know why it's working, just try to figure that out. But just do what works, right? If it works for you, then I can't tell you to stop doing it. Um, if it isn't working for you, then a- ask yourself, why couldn't this be working? And then seek answers. And you're gonna have to sift. The internet has no bounce. There's no bouncer at the door. You're gonna have to sift through everything, find a person that seems to have like, oh, kind of like a level-headed view of things, or maybe you want something more entertaining. It's up to you, right? I can't tell you what to watch, but the important thing here is you can't sit on your ass. You have to do something. You have to do something, and also you you have to make it about yourself, and that's ultimately how you become black pill. Again, I'll say it again. It's thinking that it's everything else that is the problem, not you. And that hurts. I understand, guys. Like, you see the crazy women on the internet, you hear the stories from your friends and in your own life, how women have zero accountability, women are doing whatever they want all the time. The stats, the crazy stats that you'll hear from women, it will make you feel like there's no hope. I get it. Um, but here's the thing, your choices are give up hope, but you're never gonna get laid again. You only have one life to live. And statistically speaking, most people and or almost all people, by the time they reach 40, have lost their virginity, right? It just drops after that. No one's a virgin after 40. For the guys that are struggling, or the guys that don't have any sex, are you gonna wait till you're 40 for seniority to kick in and you start getting laid with the first chick? Like, because here's the thing, I absolutely agree, and I'm experiencing this now, that once you hit, your sexual peak around your mid to late 30s, right? Um, yeah, it's a real thing. It's ridiculous, actually. It's pretty ridiculous. But at the same time, you can't just, you're not a woman, right? You got to go hunt. T-Rex doesn't want to be fed; it wants to hunt. You have to go out there and make things happen with your own bare hands. Uh, once you get to the point where you get to decide for yourself what women are to you, then you can make your own choice. And yes, that if you decide, hey, I don't want to date, if it comes from a place of like, I just not don't feel like it, rather than a place of just frustration, then okay, that's fine. But at least you got to figure it out and experience it what you want yourself. And here's the thing, with that attitude, you can always re-enter. Like, hey, like, I saw this, this girl wants to take me out to dinner. I try to decline, but she's really into me. Blah blah blah. There's a lot of things that make guys black pill. There's a lot of things that uh eventually, but it's not black pill. It's just red pill rage. I can't accept the truth, or I can't accept that I ain't shit and that's okay, right? To your mother, you're very important. To your father, to your family, to your girlfriend, your wife, you're very important. But to people who have no stake or don't agree with you or don't even live around you, you ain't shit to them. So asking them to be a certain way and to give up their dreams, their goals, to see things your way, do things your way, is insane, right? It's insane. So let's take a quick break here. Mm-mm-mm. No, no. Let's play this one. All right, and we're back. Okay, so uh, there's 7 reasons usually when why men have trouble accepting the world as it is, especially men that have morals and all that stuff. There's 7 reasons. That's not to say as a man you shouldn't have morals. I think every man has their own moral code, and a lot of us, our moral code is pretty similar, right? But in terms of you applying that to anyone outside of you, At least anyone outside of you that doesn't care that you exist, you know, like that's crazy. I apply it to like myself, maybe some things with the people I can hold accountable in my life, the people that love me and care about me. You can hold them a little bit accountable, but yeah, okay. So here's the thing. Let's bring when my article up explains it to the point where I can reference my own stuff. So I'll present, share screen. All right. So we have 7 reasons here. We'll go through them quickly. I think I might have gone through them in another stream, but let me blow this up too. Okay. So, boom. Okay. So essentially here we talk about should, you know, whatever should have the shouldn't. Like, yeah, the presupposition. I can't say that word. Presupposition that things should play out the way you think because everyone shares a similar moral core or compass as you brings many people, especially men in dating, to their knees in absolute writhing emotional pain. Does that sound familiar to someone's post we saw today? Does that sound familiar, guys? Yes. Not even Tadashi. I can't even hold my dog accountable, guys. How would I do a woman? Yeah. All right. Uh Why are so many men constantly crushed by women's hyper agency? Or in plain English, women doing whatever they want, whenever they want. How can we as men make sense of our feelings when the very gender we're supposed to date, sleep with, marry, and raise families with behaves in ways that completely defy our expectations? Yeah, like how do we do this? Like what's that's and this is what happened with Homath. He got crushed by women's hyper agency. Women got a lot of power now, and it happened way fast. Like just what 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2020, women were scared, and they said, "Men, help us, date us, have sex with us, and help us. We're all gonna die from COVID." You know. So yeah. Oh, we got a super chat from Dark Knight Dev. You get one of these, sir.
Thank you so much, best friend.
You think you run the world. Dark Knight Dev with a 569. You think you run the world, but you're just a dude trying to get through 80 years of life before you kick the bucket. Have fun, get laid, regret less. Yeah, let that shit go, man. Like we can't do this forever. Like you're gonna get burnt out, tired, and yes, you should be kind of keeping your ear to a little bit to the streets, to what's going on around the world. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, we still have a lot of us still love our country, love want to know things, right? I think that's okay, right? Like not that you need my approval for anything, but personally, like, hey, I listen to the news about once a week just to get more or less a feeling of what's going on. But at the same time, I can't change anything. And if I wanted to change anything, like, how bad do I want to change everything, right? It's usually that they want you to change things, not themselves. So, okay. So, here I explain the 7 reasons. Here's why so many men have such a hard time navigating morality in the dating world. And then the first one is egocentric bias. So essentially, egocentric bias is men with heavy ego investment in their own moral code tend to see it as universal law. Boom. Oh, if my moral code is so correct, this has to be the way things are because anything outside of this is insanity. Like people have to see it. My beliefs are so logical and virtuous, everyone must share them. Some people we know in the space. Yes. Oh, false. Women don't care about your morals. They care about what works for them in the moment. Your little kingdom of honor and integrity, that means nothing in girl world. Different laws, different gods, different logic, adapt or stay solutional. Women do not care about the men they are not fucking. Right? It is what it is. So, yeah. False consensus effect. Guys come online and find like-minded men in the manosphere, tradsphere, red pill, whatever, Then they start thinking, if all these dudes think like me, surely the rest of the world does too. Wrong again. No matter how many undersexed, over-intellectualized dudes link up to tell women how they should behave, it won't change a fucking thing. I'm so tired of this being a thing because women do not care that we're in the, like, if I just turn the stream into like how bad women are, they would, you think the any women that are watching would be like changed their life? No, they just laugh and be like, look at these dorky men. Look at these brown red pill men discussing what I should do. Ha ha ha. They'd go on with their life. They don't care. Right? She doesn't care. Okay. There is no strength in numbers. Women do not care. They never needed your consensus to do what's best for what benefits them. And that is what guys needed to understand. Women do not need your approval to do what's best for them. And guys still think that. They still think, hey, no, I need men, girls should check in with men before they do certain things, or should be like this and should. Dude, they don't need your approval for anything. It is what it is, dude. Get a $5 super chat from Dark Knight Dev. You get one of these, sir.
Check your balls.
Dudes are so Dark Knight Dev with the $5. Dudes are so performative with their displays of masculinity that it marks insecurity. Being a man is do what you want, dealing with what comes with it. Yeah. And the thing is, like, guys, we get held accountable, but like we usually get held accountable by like our job, and we have to answer to people. Like, hey, we messed up. And that's okay, right? But outside of that, right? You already being held accountable by so many things. Why are you going to continue to guilt yourself into thinking that taking a Sunday off to do nothing, to just play video games is bad, right? As long as everything's taken care of, right? In your life. Like, why is that bad? If you have the discipline to make sure everything's done, kids are fed, dogs fed, house is clean, jobs good. You know, why are you going to continue to guilt yourself into not enjoying life because you think people are watching? It's silly. All right, let's go to the third one. Social conditioning. This one's a big one. Most of us were raised by women, mothers, teachers, caretakers. They meant well, but they taught us the wrong things. Be good, be kind, and women will love you. No, that just made them repulsed by you. They raised you to be the man they wanted, safe, soft, compliant. Then they went and dated the guy who didn't listen to any of that. You were programmed to lose. And this is the part where it's just like, hey, it's not your fault, right? You still think there's morality in dating and all that stuff, and I get that. Like, guys were like, she goes to me, that's messed up. Women shouldn't do that. I'm like, there is no moral code on any of this. Women are not you. They're different. The dating game is different, right? You have to protect yourself, right? Not because you're gonna get hurt, or well, you could get hurt, but you have to protect yourself because there is no moral code, and that's why we say the things we do. It's not to change women or to get one up on them. It's to literally protect yourself. It's defense, right? It is what it is. Desire for predictability. Men crave logic and chaos, which is understandable because men like order. You know, if I do X, she'll do Y. If I show up on time, she'll show up on time. If I pay for 3 days, she'll offer to pay 1. If I marry her, she'll have sex with me forever. There you go. None of that holds up. Women are not machines. They change like the seasons. For every single thing a woman does, mentally add right now. Because that's all it ever is. How she feels right now. And guys, and even in real life, I love you right now. I'm hungry right now. I'm mad right now. I had a big fight with my mom and I'm mad at my mom right now. I hate you right now. And watch women become 50% more understandable. They make 50% more sense, right? And get rid of your covert contracts and your if-then statements. There is no if-then, right? Obviously, there's incentives, right? But there is no, stop thinking that everything has a perfect outcome. Think like this. I'm going to do this. She might not like it, she may. Regardless of what happens, I'm doing this. The only predictable thing is me, my behavior. I know that if I'm hungry, I'm going to go to the fridge and eat. That doesn't mean my woman's gonna eat. That doesn't mean that my woman's not gonna get mad that I ate by myself. I just know that if I eat, I will not be hungry anymore. And that's what you gotta start thinking. Everything else, not your problem. Right. All right. So lack of exposure to moral diversity. Okay. So a lot of younger men, especially Zoomers, grew up online. They lived in discords, group chats, and echo chambers. Their idea of morality was never challenged by real world stakes. Then they hit the dating market and get emotionally slaughtered. Why? Because they walked into a battlefield with the emotional toolkit of a Minecraft server mod. They never learned how to survive in a world full of competing values. This one's important. This is the one that may affect these guys the most, right? Like I said before, you ain't shit and that's okay. This is part of it. You don't understand that other people in the world have different goals and views of life, whether it be their faith, religion, what role women play in their lives, their politics, all of them. I'm not saying they're right, but I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying that it's different. And when you have different competing moralities, right? Competing values, yours may not win, right? We saw this when Trump wasn't elected a second time in 2020. Men could not understand moral diversity. They thought that the liberals were some, fringe group of crazy people, and that the right wing people were going to win because we're so right. But the truth is, not that I agree with anything Democrats say. The truth is that there are a group of people, and they have different morals than us, and they operate differently. The guys will tell you, hey, don't mess with girls that have tattoos, or don't mess with girls that vote Democrat. I say, hey, mess with girls that you're attracted to, because every girl, whether she's conservative or Democrat, is going to be more or less different from you and what she thinks, because the divide is not Democrat and Republican. The divide is man and women. All politics are gendered. So, yeah. All right, moving on. Cognitive simplicity. Let's not forget laziness, right? This one's also a big one. A lot of men don't care about the red pill. They don't care about dating. Don't care about fixing their reproductive problems. They rather believe life is simple and women should be loyal and loving like in the movies, because thinking critically is hard. This kind of man doesn't get blindsided. He walks right into a buzzsaw smiling. These are the shoulds, the should guys. Like, this should be like this. Like, my mom and my dad had this relationship, so I should have it. This is like a Michael story. If you guys read the sidebar, Michael story, like, hey, my mom and dad had a traditional relationship, so I should have one too. And it's like, dude, you're just lazy. You're super lazy. That's a lazy person. When someone complains about dating should be a certain way, that's laziness, right? If you had a business partner you're trying to get into business with, and he's not making money, and he says, well, I should be making money, is that a good enough answer? No. Put in some work, make some money, because should doesn't get you paid, just like should doesn't get you laid. So, yeah. All right, moving on. Moral superiority, aka narcissism. And I think this is the biggest one, but you guys can decide too. Moral superiority, aka narcissism. Some guys think their moral system is so righteous, so well structured, that it should be the default for society, especially for women. Then they're shocked when when women don't conform. She ghosted me even though I was honest, patient, and respectful. There you go. Yeah, because she didn't owe you anything. When reality doesn't match their ideal, these guys don't adapt. They spiral, lash out, and say women are broken. Women aren't broken. You're just not up to date on the rules. That's what makes these 7 things, guys, is what makes men into black pill doomers. Into everything is everyone else's problem. My happiness isn't my own problem. And this is it. And then they infest the internet, and infest X, they infest the red pill with saying, like, it sucks this, it sucks that, blah blah blah. And listen, guys, life has ups and downs. You're gonna get frustrated over women, whether it be you having maybe a short dry spell, or your wife nagging you or being angry at you from time to time, or a girlfriend that did something bad to you, maybe something irreprehensible and cheap. The point of this red pill stuff is to not never take risk and be like completely safe 100% and not experience the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows of life. It's essentially give you tools so when these things do happen, you have a way out, besides posting on the internet how you have no way out. This was always the purpose of the red pill. And for guys that don't know it, um, the red pill wasn't meant to change the world. It's meant to change how you see it. It's just a lens. And moreover, it's a descriptor. It's supposed to tell you, hey, when this happens, this other thing happens. This is praxeology. It's an economic term, and we applied it to the red pill. Economists do not really cannot change the economy. They just look at human behavior. Hey, if this happens, humans tend to do this. And that's the same thing with this. It doesn't mean that every human will, but I'm just saying that humans tend to do this or that when this is introduced, right? Women tend to like you more when they know that you have other women around you, right? Um, Women tend to ghost you because they're afraid of rejecting men in person. They're afraid. It's just biological. All these things amalgamated, put together, make up the red pill. And zero things have anything to do with women. The red pill will always be about you and only you. There's rule zero for a reason, right? And we all know rule zero. We don't have to keep repeating it. But anything outside of rule zero is not red pill, right? There is no changing anyone. You can't hold men accountable and you can't hold women accountable. You cannot hold anyone outside that accountable. And even one of those people people they have to really love you and really respect you for them to even change their behavior 5%, right? So be free. Let it go. It will take time. You will not get over female hyperagency in the world doing whatever it wants all the time, right? And the world will end for you. I don't care, how awesome you are, how bulletproof your systems are in life. The world will the world will like beat you down, And even if it doesn't, you'll feel sad sometimes for no reason. You'll be like, why do I feel this? I have everything I've ever wanted, you know? You'll see something on a shelf that your ex-girlfriend used to buy you and be like, and remember all the good times. You'll get sad for a day or two, right? You'll get rejected by a girl that you were so close, Second date, you were kissing and then you never saw her again. That's life. That means you're alive. That means you're breathing, right? And the craziest thing that happens to men that believe that women are the answer to everything and family and love and all that is like they're missing piece to their life. Is that when they finally get it, that's when they get even more black pilled or more lose hope because they realize that nothing really changes that much. I have a girlfriend. Why do I feel absolutely the same? Because it's not a it's not supposed to fulfill you or change your life much. Yes, kids will change your life a little bit, but after a while, they're kids. They take care of themselves eventually. It's not going to change life too much. You still have goals. You still get tired. You still get sick. You still get horny. You still get mad. You still have work in the morning. You're still going to have the same arguments with your family. Nothing much changes. So why are you banking on something that most likely will not make you happy or sad or neither? It's just an eventuality. It'll bring you joy, of course, but it's not going to make you happy. Like your goals are going to make you happy. Your family brings you joy and yes, keeping your family safe and raising your kids, it is part of your purpose, right? I'm not saying you shouldn't include that in your purpose. But at the same time, if that's the only thing, it's the only reason you live for, then that's a lot of pressure on your wife and kids. I don't think they deserve that. I think you should live for more than just for other people. I think you should look at yourself and be like, hey, what have I done for myself lately? So, yeah. All right. In essence, going into dating thinking women have the same morals as you is setting yourself up for failure. Their innate solipsism and our biological wiring for guilt are incompatible. Women are not evil, but they are self-interested, just like you. The difference is they don't apologize for it. Understand their nature and remember, within the confines of the law, anything goes. Right? If you go on a date with a girl and you find her sister much hotter, ask her sister out. What's going to happen? Nothing. Right? Obviously, follow the Jumbotron rule, but that's more into the legal side. Like, you don't want to get in trouble. Right? Be smart. Right? Date intelligently. Right? But at the same time, within the confines of the law, anything goes. Meaning that just like she can ghost you, that's like she can whatever downright like lie to you constantly and show up looking 50 pounds heavier or whatever. You can do things too. I'm not saying be a piece of shit, right? I'm just saying that this prison of guilt and wanting to be better and do the right thing for society is going to keep you sexless and angry, right? Like, hey, don't leave your house until she says I'm on my way, or hey, I'm parking, right? That will save you money and time because a lot of women, if they flake, you're still at your home on your couch and chilling, right? You don't have to show. You can you can date multiple women, right? You can run through a whole friend group if you want. You're free. You can use AI to get women to like you. I did it. It was incredible. It was super. It was disgustingly effective, right? There is no morality. People are gonna do what they're gonna do. How you deal with it is what matters. Women don't care about the morality of men they're not sleeping with, and barely care about the morality of men they are. You're not in Kansas anymore. Get out your feelings. Adapt or be used. Yep. So, you guys have any questions? We can open a live Q&A before I leave. If you guys have any questions or anything you guys want to discuss, we'll take a quick break and then we'll continue. All right. Okay, so let's go back. All right. Man, this edit is a masterpiece. Yeah, I don't know. I just made it and it just turned out really good. I found a good song and I'm like, damn, it turned out really good. Maybe I'll use that for my intro. What do you guys think? When Expedition 33 vid? Oh, we need it. Oh, you guys want to see that I mean, I'm almost done with the game. I'm about to start the final boss. I'm just doing side quests and all that stuff, but if you guys want to see let me see if I can add a video clip. I downloaded me fighting one of the bosses, or not, like, I would say a boss that you fight 33%, 40% in the game. Oh, and man, the dodging mechanics are pretty interesting. I'll upload both and I'll show you guys. All right, took long enough. All right, I'll show you some of my expedition gameplay. There you go. That was with one of the characters. Gradient counters like a count. Usually, like now, I parry everything. Like I parry everything, but back in the day, I was just dodging because I wasn't good at parrying it. So we got a $5 super chat from Tom. You get one of these, sir. We'll give you
Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. $6 shrimp special!
Todd M, $5. Do you mind fleshing out women having control over sex and relationships? Those in clicking versus the women control sex, men control relationship idea. Sure. So I'm gonna make it simple, right? First off, if women don't have sex with you, there's no relationship, right? And if there is a relationship, they call it the friend zone. So you don't want to be there. So women control access to relationships because the first gate you have to walk through is sex. Now you may be thinking, okay, well, let's talk about the women that do have sex with me. Do they want a relationship? Well, here's the thing. It's Briefalt's law, right? Briefalt's law is something that states it is a law that states, hey, like where there is no benefit for the female, no such relationship will exist, right? Remember, women will only go to men that benefit them. Now, you also may think, okay, well, there's some men that provide nothing, like they're just bums, or yeah, they provide excitement. They provide something that a girl wants. She doesn't get with men initially just out of honor or out of pity. She gets with men because that she sees benefit in getting with that man, right? So if you think of it this way, first off, she controls access to both because in order to have a relationship, you need to have sex first, and she's the one that has to open her legs because men, we don't really have much of an attraction floor, right? I guess we're none of us are like going after fatties, but like other than that, like if a girl's down and you're 4 drinks in, she's gone, right? Um, so there's that. Even during the relationship, if the sex stops, the relationship is over. She can stop the sex. Women have agency. The reason guys say that women control sex and men control relationships, right, is because it's like men believe it's an ego thing. Men believe that every girl that has sex with them wants them so bad that they will be competing for his commitment. But the truth is, women do not need your commitment. They have jobs, they have credit cards, they're CEOs now and doctors and fighter pilots and all these things. So because of this, what's left? Being the fun, exciting alpha guy. The only women that are really fighting for commitment is women that have to, that absolutely have to, that are just like, hey, um, I'm 30, I'm out of time. Could you please marry me? Right? And even then, they don't even try that hard, right? Because honestly, back when I was single, like I would get more matches from young girls or much older women than girls in their 30s. Right? So that's why I say that. It's to again accept that women really don't want to be in relationships as much as you think, because if they wanted to, they would, because they control both. Right? It's not hard for women to get in relationships, contrary to popular belief, right? Women are not so awesome that men don't qualify. For every one obese man, there's one obese woman. For every one man that's with money, there's another woman or two that are bad with money. Right? For every one man that's in college debt, there's like 3 women that are in college debt. 1 to 1, men still are good providers and make good husbands. But women don't want to be in relationships. Right? They're not fighting for us. And that's a good mentality to have. I know it sounds like, again, doomer stuff, right? But the thing is, it's freeing because now guess what we get to say now? The relationship is her problem, right? You don't have to have sex with a girl and think, oh my God, she's gonna fall in love with me. Very rarely does that happen unless she's at the end of her rope. Like she's 33, 32. That's when you have sex with them and they're just like knocking on your door. The next day, like, hey, what are you doing? Come on, let's get this going. But most of the time, any girl from like 18 to 27, they're going to be absolutely averse to the idea of settling down with any guy. And it's not your problem. It's not you. It's not your problem. You are free. You do not have to worry whether a girl wants to get with you beyond that. And if she does, that's for her to prove. she has to be the one to make you feel like you want to be in a relationship. And if you don't want to be in a relationship, she failed, not you. Now, when you get into the relationship, when you opt in, right, then you have a say because she's on board for the time being and you're on board. So, in essence, women are the check at any of these gates. They have to be the ones to approve and to give you the nod and to ask you first. Because any man that asks a woman for commitment first that's a demonstration of lower value. That means that you're more focused on her and what she thinks about you than you focus on the world. It's like Pook said, women do not want to complete you. They want to share in your they want to enjoy your completeness. And then there's the Rich Cooper one, which is a little bit more crass, but I like the Pook one, right? So yeah, it's that simple. It's not like some kind of convoluted workaround psychology thing. It's just like it's logic, right? I cannot have a relationship with a woman that I haven't had sex with. There is nothing there. It's the friend zone, right? There's nothing there. Once I have sex, are women fighting for relationships now? Nope, they're not. They look at the situation and they think, what's best for me? To their knowledge, right? Being with you could be the best thing for her ever. But the truth is, remember Brieffoot's law. Like, hey, they're always asking themselves, what do I get out of this? And if they don't get anything out of it, or they find a better option, then they'll leave. They won't leave right away, but they could start planning their exit. You don't know if things aren't good. And also, she'll decide what role you have in her life, and that's what a lot of guys don't like. They want to control everything. It's like home math. This is one of the problems that home math has, and other people have. It's that, hey, I want to control the universe. They don't say it or think like that, but that's essentially what it's saying, right? Like you don't get to control what a woman wants. Not even she can. Why do you think you can? A woman will want what's best for her within her own window of reasoning in her head. Like she'll say, hey, I can do better than this guy, or hey, I just got out of a relationship and I don't want to deal with the responsibility of a serious relationship. I just want to have fun. Or hey, I am a piece of shit. Like I hate being in relationships because it's just heartbreak or whatever. Or hey, I'm just a hoe. I just want to be a hoe. Like that's always what I've always wanted. I was a fat chick before, and now I'm hot and I'm getting a male attention. I want to be a hoe now. So it's like, yeah, it's not for you to decide, and that's a good thing. You're free from that. You fuck them and then you move on with your life. And if they come knock, hey, so what are we? Then you're like, she's kind of chill. Like I like her. You can stick around, sure. And then you move from there. Let her decide. It's a demonstration of higher value as well. So that's why. Cool. Thank you, Todd. Any other super chats? Sorry again for the subathon. I know like some of you guys really wanted to pop in and pop out and all that stuff, but guys, it's just could not get the software to cooperate, and then laptop crashed. Everything just went to hell. Like I like Streamlabs, I like OBS, I like learning software. It's fun. Learning is fun, right? But it's just if I can't get it to do what it's supposed to do, in my futile attempt to gain more followers on this godforsaken app. So I'm just gonna like make a pact with the devil or something. So yeah. And guys, there's always gonna be like reasons to lose weight. Lose hope. Like the Tinder thing with the height thing, guys are latching themselves to that, being like, see, women were terrible all along. And then there's the guys that latch on to celebrity drama. They're always latching on to some kind of event in order to prove their worldview or their ego attachments or investments. That's all it is, guys. People take events that have sometimes little to do with anything, and then they're attached. They use it and they attach their ego investment to it to prove a thing. And I do it too. But the thing is, like, I'm better at it than most people. I admit. Like when I see a girl, like I posted today or yesterday. Oh, when I see a woman complaining that she has to work super late till 7 p.m. every day, I've been in the workforce for a long time, and I know for a fact that women make everything a bigger issue than it is. I got yelled at by more women in the Navy than men. And you know what it was? It was over nothing. Small things. Things that like if I told my male bosses would be like, don't worry about it. It is what it is. Like I work with women for a long time, and they tend to catastrophize things, and they tend to over fixate on things that don't matter. I mean, look at that guy. One of my mutuals, he posted about him being home for 48 hours, and man, this motherhood stuff is easy. So it's like, oh, um, what do we do? Like, do we tell their men, or do we keep it to? And he decided to post it. All the women were getting mad and angry and saying, like, you don't understand. Like, you got to make a grocery list. I'm like, a grocery list? I do two things. I already know the 10 foods I eat. I'm assuming you feed the same thing to your kids or some kind of like different version because their mouths are small. Um, you don't like, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you if you have a recipe you want to make, you pull out the recipe in your phone and there's a list right there and you're like, okay, I need this, I need that. And if you forget something, you just grab it on the way to work, from on the way home from work. Boom. It's like our that's just what I'm saying. Like, you see how easy it is to be a man sometimes? Apply that to your dating life. Apply that to your dating life. Like, instead of making it an emotional thing, just make it like, hey, I like Latinas. What are your solutions? Well, there's certain cities and states with lots of Latinas. Are you willing to go there? Yes or no? Yes, no, okay. No? Okay. So what do Latinas like to do? Like to dance. Okay. So how do I learn how to, oh, I gotta find a class. That means I gotta learn salsa. Okay, cool. Let me go find a salsa class. Okay, how do Latinas like men to dress? Well, okay, well, they like men to like look like reggaeton artists in casual clothing and like wear nice clothing from time to time. Like, this is the look. Boom. You see, you have a plan. You came up with a plan. You instead of saying, Latinos are fat. I'm like, yes, Mexico is the fattest country on earth right now. But if you go to a salsa night, I guarantee you most of the women will not be because it's a physical activity. So yeah, they were pulling out all the stops. Yeah. Oh God. Like everything. Just like, oh, what about a grocery? What about the doctor's appointment? I'm like, that's like 3 times a year, man. You guys got a doctor appointment every week? Like, no. What about taking like wait, just wait till they get sick. And he's just like, yeah, they are sick. One of them is sick. It is what it is. Like, I don't get it. Yeah, he blew the horn of Gondor. Yeah. Getting all the crazy women mad at him and all that stuff is insane. Yeah. But I goes to show you guys that like you have a gift, right? The same way we're making fun of women for over catastrophizing anything, you don't have to over catastrophize your dating life, right? You don't have to make everything some kind of social cataclysm where it's the end of the world. Yes, people are going to talk about how shitty things are. And yes, things are changing. And yes, things can get shitty sometimes. There's ups and downs. But you can find a way. You can find a way. And the thing is, the thing that's blocking most men is guilt. Oh, I can't go to this country to hunt, to have sex with local brown women. What would my family think? And I'm like, what family, dude? You're not getting your needs taken care of. Right? Oh, I can't talk to younger girls, like 18 plus, by the way. That's what I mean by young girls. I can't talk to 20-year-olds in college. Like, that's creepy. Creepy to who, dude? The law, like, if you get caught making out with a 20-year-old, you know what the police can do? Nothing. Nothing. Because there's consent. She is an adult. So yeah, there's a lot of things, and usually it's guilt. And I can promise you, one of the things that makes guys black pills and doomer and like this guy, Hometh, is that he hates that he's forced to be selfish in order to enjoy women. Like, why can't I be awesome and great and honorable and still get pussy? I'm like, you can be, just you can't sell that to women, right? You can be honorable and awesome to your friends. You can be honorable and awesome to your coworkers, to your boss, to your dog. But you can't lead with that with women. They don't care. They want excitement, right? The whole world protects women and gives them everything they want 24/7. Why would you what do you th- why do you think doing the same is going to make you stand out or make you interesting, right? It isn't. And I just mentioned friends, right? Don't neglect other people. Like, just you having trouble with women does not mean that you neglect the need for friends, family, hang out with your friends, right? Does this guy sound like someone that goes to cigar nights on Fridays with his friends? Right? Do you think he's out at the pool party talking to chicks and having, like, just chilling, relaxing, letting his mind wander, having a beer? You know? Do you think he's at pickleball playing some pickleball, making some friends? Do you think he's on a run club? You know? Do you think he's salsa dancing and enjoying a little bit of dancing out in some summer breeze? Think about it, guys. Like, these gurus that people ever wants to follow. Think, do you want their life, or at least do they look like they're having fun? And that's ultimately the number one reason to follow a guy and to listen to him. It's not that his IQ, or if it's how obviously, you want to follow a smart person depending on the niche, right? But are they having fun? Is Jordan Peterson having fun? He seems to be breaking down mentally or emotionally like every other interview he does. Is he having fun? Is Homath having fun? Is he at least showing a side of himself? Like, look, man, I like to build Legos or paint Warhammer or play D&D with my friends, like normal shit that nerdy guys do. I like to go to anime conventions. Are you having fun? The countdown has begun for this YouTube channel. I don't know what's going to happen to it, right? I don't know. It's up in the air. But just know that I'm having fun. And even when I'm sad, hopeless, even when I'm tired, I still take my ass outside sometimes. And I have coping mechanisms and I have things to do when I'm sad, just like everyone else. I have my music. Just brood for an afternoon. I get an extra hour of sleep because maybe I'm tired. I spend time with my dog. And when I was single, I would just call up a girl and spend an afternoon with her. And it's crazy because the girl herself isn't going to make me feel better. The brooding isn't going to make me feel better. Playing a couple songs in piano isn't going to make me feel better. But all those things together make me feel better because it's the tempo. It's reminding me that every little piece of happiness that these different things bring me contributes to me going, like, snapping out of it and like, whoa, hold on. Like, I just needed to get outside. I don't know what it was, but one of those things really fixed everything. And I don't care which one it was. I just care that it was something, right? And learning to be happy with the simple things, right? I guess maybe millennials, we're going to have a lot of trouble with this as we age because we're so worried about the world and we want to be activists. Everyone wants to be Greta Thunberg over something. Greta Thunberg of dating, Greta Thunberg of women, Greta Thunberg of Democrats, the Greta Thunberg of Republicans. We all want to be Greta Thunberg to some extent. But realize that, like, today I made like a pork or braised pork belly. I thought it was gonna come out shitty. I'm like, nope. Like, lately I've been making dishes and they all suck, or food and stuff, or I'm just out of it. Today I was just pretty pissed because my subathon thing didn't work out. I was just pissed all morning, just angry. Um, and when forgot what I was gonna say. When I made the food, um, it turned out amazing. I was like, wow, this is really good. I stored some for the next day, for tomorrow, and I enjoyed an episode of Attack on Titan. And now I'm sitting streaming again. And I played some Expedition 33, and I got some work done on a Sunday, right? I cleaned up my house a little. None of these things individually mean much. Anime is not going to make you happy. Cooking itself isn't going to make you happy. Playing piano isn't going to make you happy. But all these things together maybe will make your mood feel better and make you kind of like, oh crap. Now, they won't make you happy, but at least you have to like, it teaches you one thing: life goes on, right? Like, you're sad, but the world keeps spinning. People still need you, or you still need people. You're still going to get hungry. You still got to learn that song you've been trying to learn on piano. And you still you still have to feed the dog. You got to catch up on your animes, or else you'll fall behind, or all that stuff. People have been bothering you about finishing it, whatever. You still have to go have sex. You still have to do things. The world doesn't care about your hangups. The world keeps spinning. The country was here way before you, and the country will be here way after you're gone. Right? It is what it is. And as much as I enjoy seeing cool things happen, like Trump say something funny or tell off something, or be vindicted when a foreign policy or a policy doesn't work and people pay the price. But ultimately, it's what's in my own life that matters, right? And there's certain that no one can take that away from you but yourself. Obviously, yeah, people can take it away from you, but like in essence, the ultimate way to become a black pill is to just think that you're better, you're above the human experience, and that your needs and wants and all that stuff don't matter, and putting everything ahead of yeah, pork belly does make me happy, Todd. So but I've blabbed enough. I don't know what's going on in the manosphere. I don't know. There's a lot of shitty people. I was not expecting so many shitty people. It's actually shocking. I dipped my toes and all that. I really wanted to I never wanted it I never wanted it to be like this. I thought, in my naivety and a couple years ago, I thought most people here were decent people, but it's actually the minority. The good people are the minority here, right? Um, I've been let down a lot by people's behavior. I probably let down people myself. Um, I felt times like I didn't know what I was talking about, and there are days where I'm just like, how does no one know? And I know something. How has no one experienced this? How is no one talking about this idea, this thing? Is it because if they did, they would lose followers, or is it because like as you grow, you got to dumb down your content? Which yes, that's the answer. You got to dumb down your content if you want to grow, right? But or at least make it more similar to mainstream content. At least thumbnail marketing that way. But the truth is, I just see a lot of behavior, a lot of things that kind of make you kind of, I wouldn't say bitter, but kind of jaded. Not jaded. Yeah, jaded. Jaded is the word. Jaded. And earlier this year, a couple weeks ago, Uncle Sam decided to take a chunk out of my YouTube earnings and my Substack and my Twitter earnings, all that stuff, right? So here we are. I thought that this beer money wasn't going to be able to be taxable, but now I make enough to pay for my groceries, several bills, and kind of make life even more comfortable. Like thanks to you guys, thanks to ad revenue, and thanks to my subscribers, right? And that's a blessing, right? Not everyone can do that, and even if they can, they usually squander it or do something stupid or ruin it. But Uncle Sam wanted a piece of that, and he wanted a huge piece. So I'm forced to make a decision. And the decision is either I go all in or I stop wasting my time. Right? I only do this once in a while. Because if I don't, now I have Uncle Sam wanting a chunk of the change. And if Uncle Sam's gonna take money, you either make more enough to where you make that worth it, or you fall back. And that's ultimately where we're at here. I have to make a decision soon. I do not want to pay taxes on money that took a long time to make, hours of videos to make. I don't want to pay taxes on that. I'm sure you guys wouldn't either. So we're gonna keep grinding. We're gonna keep growing the channel. I have June 28th is when I might go back to work. I get my pin removed from my finger, and I'm back to work and all that stuff. But we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, Uncle Sam is very harsh to self-employed. So it's a tough spot to be in, guys. It's been rough dealing with people in this space. I've lost a lot of, not that, it's online people, it's not as real as a friendship in real life, right? But you know, people are very interested in me for some reason. And like with any job, with any um kind of career occupation, right? There's going to be downs and ups. There's going to be perks and there's going to be drawbacks. One of the drawbacks of this niche and doing YouTube is that, along the timeline, people are going to start to notice you. And that's okay. That's good, I guess. That's good marketing. I don't know. But, having your privacy leaked, and all that stuff. I don't know if how I feel about that. It was pretty shocking. I had to take some measures. Not that I don't know if anyone would like do anything to me, right? I have been recognized on my street about 8 times, 9 times in the past 2 years. One was recent, a fellow Navy nuke. He loves my stuff. And one of them who's one of my good friends now here in Dallas. And we had cigars on Friday. So there's definitely good people out there, right? They mean well. I think most people mean well and all that stuff. When I'm out with my girlfriend, she gets recognized like 3 times per day, right? And people are not nice. And when I say not nice, I don't mean, but they're very entitled. We're walking by my favorite bar, and this guy goes to my girlfriend like, "Hey, stop there." And I'm like in my mind like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "Yeah, let me see your face. Come closer. I want to see your face. You look familiar." And I know he knew, but I was like, dude, that's not how you talk to people you don't know, right? That's so disrespectful. Like, what kind of shit is that? Right? You say, "Hey, I like your stuff." Even if you don't like them, you wave and all that stuff. And you move on, right? And that's how people are. That same person goes on Abba and Preach's stream to tell them that they saw us in person and that we weren't a big deal, even though I was like in joggers, a baggy shirt, just walking my dog, and we were just like, your broke ass doesn't understand that I live here in this nice ass neighborhood. You drove 30 minutes to have an overpriced drink. I am walking my dog, minding my own business, and you are bothering me and my girlfriend, and then going to the internet to tell them, "Oh, they weren't remarkable in person." I'm like, "Yeah, it's because I live here. I don't have to dress up for you. Have to dress up to come here because this is a big deal for you. I live in this neighborhood." So it's not only the creators, the fans are even worse, bro. Like it's just it's so shitty. People don't know what to do with celebrities when they're around them. They don't know how to act. And not that she's a celebrity or anything, but like I've seen it. I've seen how these internet people are. I've seen this niche, the followers, and there's a lot of shitty people here, right? You have to hate your fans a little bit, right? Not your fans, but your audience, because if you don't, this kind of shit happens. Your privacy is important, but if you do the things that I do, you gotta assume that your privacy is gonna go away eventually. But yeah, if I'm going to be going through this and all that, I just hope that I'm going to get paid well because I'm going through a couple things that are annoying. I built my experience with women in an incredibly private way. No one knew what I was doing except me and the women, my friends, my my past girlfriends, family, neighbors. No one knew. I just silently brought women up to my place, and they silently left. And when you've lived a life under the microscope, because my mom was a very, my mom was a helicopter mom, and then I joined the Navy where I had almost zero privacy on board a ship for 4 years. Um, you tend to not take well to people invading your privacy because you finally got it. You finally got something. And then when people invade your privacy, it makes me feel kind of like, what do I say? It just brings up that childhood notion that I'm always being watched, and it just I don't know what the is it nervous? I don't know what the word is. Vulnerable, disrespectful. I don't know. Entitled. I don't know what it is. But I'm like, yeah, privacy is important to me. So I would like to get paid now that I'm losing privacy in my life, right? I know a lot of influencers just like, oh, they got to bear everything out, right? And the thing is, people on the internet are crazy. There was one chick that we were talking. I was like going back and forth with her Catholic friend. Her Catholic friend had DM'd me saying, "Hey, come to church. I'm in LA. You're in LA. You should come see me, and we'll go to church together." She was shooting her shot, right? But the same thing. But again, the girls do this where they're like, they shit on you in the timeline, and then they go slide in your DMs and shoot their shot. I'm like, you can't. Like, why are you doing this? Like, one or the other. Don't do both, right? Because you're going to end up like Michaela or this girl, and then her pastor or her father, whatever, came in there and said, "Hey, you should really go out with her. She's a good person," right? Trying to set her up or something. And I'm like, what is going on? Her friend on the timeline said, "Hey, there's a Catholic church at the end of your street. You live on so and so street, right?" And I'm like, "How did you know that?" And they're like, "Oh no, I just triangulated the view and the positioning of the city. So I kind of figured you lived on that street." And I'm just like, "What the?" And it's not a main street; it's a side street. It's a neighborhood, right? 2 lanes, man. It doesn't even have lanes. It's just one street. And I'm just like, "What the hell?" Yeah. So it's like, yeah, privacy. Like you guys think like, oh, he only has like 2,300 followers and 22.7 thousand followers on Twitter. But man, I don't know what it is about this niche, but yeah, people really feel entitled to your personal space and privacy. Um, yeah, that's why be careful when you talk to people on Twitter, man. Like these people, you never know. Keep your distance. Use a fake name, whatever you have to do, but be careful. And then if you're gonna meet people in real life, ask for an Instagram. Ask for something, because if not, you know, you don't know who they are. Excuse me. But yeah, that's where we at. It's exhausting. I just want to get paid for this exhausting, like no one wants to do no one wants to deal with the negatives of a job without also enjoying the perks. What is the perk of being an influencer, an online creator? It is freedom to do kind of like move around. Like if you want to work or stream from somewhere or go fly to your parents, you don't need permission. What are the downfalls? You may lose privacy depending on the niche, right? Or there's no secure outcome, secure income, right? Because YouTube and streaming, unless you have like, in order to live on YouTube, you have to have a low standard of living. When I say low, not like like something I have now, where I'm only spending like between rent, utilities, like $3,000 a month spending. That's how much I spend a month. I don't really spend a lot. And then if I spend more, it's because, I just went out one or two more times extra. I'm not cheap though. I tip very well. Um, I'm known for tipping well in my neighborhood. I'm known for tipping well wherever I go, like to the places I frequent. And I do not like cheap steaks. I do not like, Like the things that I enjoy, I do not like the cheap version, right? I don't buy Amazon furniture. I buy IKEA furniture now or Wayfair furniture. But you know, for the things I do enjoy, I spend money. I just don't have a lot of expensive tastes, right? It is what it is, guys. We'll keep grinding. But you know, I can't keep giving time to something that isn't that's like making my life harder and making me, you know, kind of more miserable. You know, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to anyone, right? Uh, so I got to lay out everything I've ever known or everything I've ever learned, and then we'll go from there, right? So yeah, Wayfair is a gem. Wayfair is pretty awesome. So yeah, but cool. And the thing is, it's not like only people coming to you. It's like also personal things about you, right? We've all made mistakes in the past. We've all done dumb stuff, and maybe I did something dumb recently that I hope no one finds out. Not that I have. No, pretty everything. You know, besides fall off the ladder, that was pretty dumb. But that gets exposed too, right? And you know, at the end of the day, people don't more than people want to see you succeed. A lot of people do. They also want to see a hero fall, like that Green Goblin quote. Not that I'm anyone special, but you got to recognize that you know people love scandal and drama, and you know people like to dance on the corpses of Redpill brands all the time. So the ultimate thing here is that clout's a hell of a drug. It's scary that I witnessed firsthand what people are willing to do for clout. We all thought that a woman shoving fruits inside of her body was like the ultimate sin for clout, but I've seen worse. When I say worse, not sexual, like worse, like I'm just afraid where the bottom is, what people are willing to do for clout, and where that journey takes them. And trust me, it doesn't bother me that people come up once, 3 or 4 times a year to say hi. That doesn't bother me. It's like, what? I don't, you know. However, when I see my Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all on kiwi farms, that's when I'm like, you know, like, you know, I'm at risk of losing a lot here. I gotta make this YouTube stuff worth it, or I gotta get out because this is just, it's like I have 1 foot out and 1 foot out, you know? So at every level, you know, at the smaller level, there's crazy people. At the higher level, there's crazy people. It doesn't seem that there's any filter. Hopefully I make it through. If I gotta sell my soul at some point, I've done it before. And I'll do it again. I sold my soul to the Navy. And they kept a piece of it, and they always will have a piece of it. But sometimes you just gotta give it a little more. So we'll do that, and then we'll go from there. So, and to home math, all I gotta say is this, man. The world has ended for me many times. There are times where I've felt like I lost it all. The world has ended for me many times, my friend. And it has began again in the morning. You guys have a good night. Thank you.